So recently I had a fragrance haul where I had a few fragrances that I gotten from Joma Shop, I think it was. And I had put on the community page of the channel, I had asked a quick poll of the 4 fragrances that I listed, which one would you all like to see a review of or first impression of first? Well, the overwhelming winner with probably a little over 50%, at least the last time I looked, was the one that we're going to talk about today in this video, which is 9PM Elixir from Afnan. All right, so stick around. Again, this is a true first impression of this fragrance. We'll talk. All right, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin, and you are watching Smell Goods. I appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit as we run through, talk through, discuss, and have conversations about the fragrances that are in my collection, but also documenting my fragrance journey and hopefully helping you with your fragrance journey. As mentioned, this video is all about the recent fragrance haul that I had. Constantly getting new fragrances in, swapping out all that fun stuff. But I wanted to kind of talk through the 4 that I got and let you know what I got, but also see which one you wanted to know about first. The 4 that I received were, and I'm saying this simply so that when you can kind of be looking towards the other videos that will be coming out from this particular haul. But it was, of course, 9PM Elixir, Hayden from French Avenue, and then from Goldfield and Banks, I got Silky Woods as well as Ingenious Ginger. That one you want to definitely, when I finish that review, yeah. All right, but anyway, let's talk about 9PM Elixir. First, we have the box here. Box is brown, maybe a little hard to see. Hopefully, let's get the light a little better on it. There we go. Have this kind of brown and gold type of thing. Little lines there. Open the box in that manner. And you pull the bottle out. Bottle sits in there. Looks like the notes are in here as well, which we'll talk about. We'll go through the back of the box. Nothing major, nothing special. You've got the sticker up here, UPC, and of course ingredients and all the other stuff that they put on the back of these boxes. As far as the notes, well, let's look at the bottle first. Bottle, that typical 9PM bottle style, same as 9PM Original, 9PM Rebel, and 9PM or 9AM Dive, which I also have. And I guess there's a couple others that are for the ladies. But again, that same bottle style that goes along. So definitely putting itself as a flanker. Up top, you do have, look, maybe a little hard to see, but you've got Afnan up top there on the cap. Cap is not magnetic. It just kind of sticks in there, kind of clips into place. Atomizer, decent atomizer, nothing major. And in the air, yeah, I think this is supposed to be a take on JPG. I want to say that a lot of folks are saying Le Male or Le Male Absolute Elixir, something like that. And you do get the Jean Paul Gaultier DNA in the air. You do get that. Immediately, I also get, really what I get is that spice. I get that cardamom that's kind of there, but a little freshness in this. All right. As far as what the notes are on this, you have nutmeg, LME, and cardamom. You have pimento, lavender, and leather in the middle. And then in the base, you have amber, lavender, patchouli, and vanilla. All right. Now, that's what that is in the air. Let's get it on tester strip just to kind of see what we've got going on here. Oh, that was the cap. So what we got going on here. So yeah, you do, like I said, you get the Jean Paul Gaultier DNA. You get that feel that you get with a lot of those that are in that Le Male, Ultra Male kind of line, right? So you get that. And I see where people are getting that idea from, but I don't think that that's what this is. The reason I say this because for me, at least one, that plum note is missing. I think it's plum that I remember from that. The plum note seems to be missing. Yeah, I'm not going to say that this is a clone of that, but that does not mean that this is bad, because this on its own, this is nice. This is definitely for fall, for winter. So it is this warm, spicy type of fragrance, but it's not a spicy fragrance, if that makes sense. The pimento that I think we said was in there, that pimento doesn't come out to play in the same way. I forgot what else, but there's some other things that I know I've smelled pimento in where it comes out a little more spicy. This is a little more subdued, and I wonder if it's like that LME, the lavender, that are kind of softening that up, kind of helping to subdue it a little. The sweetness is there as far as the vanilla on this, and the amber, but this, I'm not going to call this a clone. I've got to spend more time with this to see exactly what this is, but based off of just my initial thoughts, my initial smell of this might be a twist. In fact, let's look up the notes, because whenever you have a clone, for me, the notes, the DNA should be the same or very similar. There may be a change here or two, but it should be along the same lines, right? Let me pull up and see what we're talking about. Give me just a second here, because I don't think that that's what this is. So Lamel Elixir Absolute, which is what a number of people are saying that this is a take on, right? Yeah, see up top, you've got plum, cardamom, cinnamon, and bergamot. You've got lavender, davana, and artemisia in the middle. And then in the base notes, you've got tonka bean, benzoin, ambret, musk mallow, patchouli, and labdanum. So that plum note for me is kind of what I'm missing out of this. The what is it? The leather. I don't necessarily get leather when I smell this initially, just off of the strip. But that leather, I would imagine, would probably come out a little more noticeable at some point with this as this dries down. Yeah, I'm not going to call this a clone as its own. How does this smell? You get that Jean Paul Gaultier kind of DNA, right? You get that signature almost DNA that you have in like Lamel, you have in Ultramel, you have in the fragrances that are kind of in that line or in this kind of vein. But it's not close enough for me to say it puts me in the space fully of the Absolute Elixir. Does it put me in the space of a Jean Paul Gaultier fragrance? Absolutely. It puts me in the space of that, but I'm not going to say it puts me directly in the space of that. I've got to spend more time with this and see. Now, and so I'll have another full review coming for you after I spend some time, because this is, like I said, you all wanted a first impression. This is your first impression. My first impression of it, this is good. This is something that I'm going to rock for as far as just what I smell in the air, what I smell off the strip. Let's get it on skin just to kind of see if there's anything I pick up. Let's go here, just because I know I've been testing some stuff earlier. Yeah, the pimento comes out just a hair more in the as far as what I first get on skin. Not badly, it's just I pick it up a little more, but that cardamom is there, the freshness of like the lavender, and even the LME is there. Yeah, I mean this is definitely for fall, for winter. It's definitely something that I'm looking forward to spending more time with. I'm definitely looking to see how this rocks when it drops below, let's say 80 degrees. Right now, we're getting close, y'all. We're getting close as far as the filming of this video. I think today we're up in the 85, so we're getting close. In fact, tomorrow I might wear this just so I can give you all, come back pretty quickly and give you all a full breakdown, a full review of this. But first impression, I'm gonna score this pretty high. I'm gonna give this a nice as far as just the fragrance, just as far as the scent profile, as far as what this could do. I'm gonna say this is pretty much a buy type of situation. If I had to assign a number as far as 1 through 10, I'm probably going to give it an 8.5, 8.75. It's not a perfect scent, but it definitely is a scent that first impression, I can rock. Oh yeah. Okay, so the leather, I think that there's a little, I want to assign that to the leather. That seems to be coming out a little more, but this, not bad. I've not been disappointed with 9PM. The OG 9PM was one of the very first fragrances that I got when I was starting this leg of my fragrance journey. Definitely is one that, you know, is still back there. Pull it out every now and then, of course, in the grand scheme of things. 9PM Rebel, phenomenal, really great, very fruity, very nice, kind of loud type of fragrance. And then 9AM Dive, which is, for me, just a nice, easy reach type of blue fragrance. And now this from 9PM, the Elixir. Yeah, this, I'm feeling this. I'm digging this. But yeah, I've got to give you a full review. I'm not ready to call this a clone. I'm not ready to call this. This could be, right now, let's just go with, it's an inspired take of a JP Gaultier fragrance. What specifically? I'll see if I can dig and see kind of where I might find some similarities or some areas of convergence, as it were. But I'm almost 100% that the intent was not Absolute Elixir. I'm almost 100% on that. I think I'm safe to say that, but if I'm wrong, I'll come back and tell you I'm wrong. I just don't think that that's what this is. But is it good? Yeah, this is good. This is rockable. This is wearable. This is definitely fall, definitely winter, definitely nice hoodie. This could, because it's not overly sweet, this could be worn to work. This is a nice fragrance that I think could work very versatilely. Be very versatile. I guess that's, yeah, has some versatility for the fall. This is not strictly limited to evening out. This is not strictly limited to date night. This is just nice fall fragrance that can be worn a lot of times. All right, so that's it on this one. I'll have to dig some more, but I've got another video here that you'll probably want to check out. As of course, always stay safe, stay sane, stay smelling good, and then hit that like, hit that subscribe, request notification, share, and then I'll catch you in the next video. Be blessed. Peace.